Hey guys, it's Greg. In this video I would like to show you Grifoni Blades for Hire. This is a prototype of the game from Ludus Magnus Studio. In the game, players are going to build their own bands of mercenaries by hiring them, purchasing equipment for them and completing quests. And the game is quite unique because we have a merge of three different mechanics. We have a narrative game, we have tableau building, and we have a little bit of worker placement. So it's a very unique approach to this genre. And also remember that the entrance threshold for this game is quite low, so it can be played with even the less experienced players. So if you are interested in this title, just check out the rest of this video. Alright, so let's start with the components that we can see on the table. There's a lot of them, so I need to explain what you can see here. As you can see, the game can take a lot of space because of the main board and the space for each of the players. We have all four boards on the table, but you can see only two of them. So starting with the main part, in here we have our camp with this 3D part over here. I'm not sure if you can see this right now, but those are our tents. They are numbered from 1 to 8, and those tents and in general this part of the board represents different actions that we can do with our workers. So we have 8 tents. In each of the tents we have 3 spots with different actions, and those actions can be used in a different way depending on the tent. So for example, in the tent 5, in here we can get 2 potions or 2 crystals, or on the second spot we can get 1 crystal and 1 potion at the same time. The third option over here represents that we can spend 2 potions or 2 crystals to increase or decrease the balance. I will explain this in a second. So in here are just the space where you are going to put your workers, and the very important part is that those tents and those spaces are going to be resolved in order. So we're going to start with first tent and with first space, second, third, and so on until the 8th tent. This part in here we have just basically our display of cards. We have 2 decks of cards with our mercenaries and with items that we can purchase and give to our mercenaries to equip them. In here, this is a space that is closest to our camp. This is like our camp's closest location where we can go to perform some basic quests to get some money and bread in this example. In here, those 4 spots represent different parts of our realm that we can go and perform different quests or fulfill different quests, and those locations, during the setup we need to randomly assign a number to them, so those locations are going to be on a different distance from our camp. So in this example, this coast, let's say, is the closest location because it's with the number 1, and the city is with number 4, so it's the furthest location of our realm where we can fulfill our quests. This part over here, in here we can see the player board, and the player board comes with different spots. So I'm going to take one that you cannot see, and I am trying to not move all those components. So in here we have a little bit of Tetris where you're going to put your items and resources. As you can see, one spot over here is not covered, and it shows us that our wagon can get additional boost of movement. So right now our wagon gets +1 to the movement. Apart of that, we have tokens of resources and items that are going to be equipped by our mercenaries. So every single equipment item is going to be put on your wagon, and there is also a card for each of those tokens. So not only you're going to use the card, but also the token. The token is always going to stay with you on your wagon, even if your mercenaries are not equipped with those items. You can sell them, and that's the only way to remove them from your card, but in general they are going to stay over here. In here we have 2 tracks. Those tracks represent your politics, let's say. So the blue track represents glory, and this red track represents supremacy. So depending on your choices in the game, those tracks are going to increase, and those are connected with different actions and your goals, so I am going to explain them in a second. Apart of that, we have spots on the bottom, so we have 3 spots for our mercenaries. This is the maximum of how many mercenaries you can have. In here we have a spot for your missions that you fulfilled, and in here we have a location for your secret objectives, and in here this is like a place for your deck of cards where you can put your mercenaries and items that are not used in this specific turn. Another part that you can see is over here. So this board represents, first of all, on the top part of the board we have just a victory track. In the middle we have a space for our booklet. So in this prototype we only got this booklet of Assault of the Castle, and well, this is a story-driven game. So each of the playthroughs are going to use some kind of scenario, some kind of story, and the story is going to be executed together by all players. So as you can see, we have placeholder image, so it's not complete. But what information we can find here? So first of all, this is the beginning of our story. This is some flavor text, and right now, all on this page, we have 3 outcomes that we can try and fulfill. So we can have this, let's say, peaceful outcome, so this glory outcome, and the red one is this supremacy outcome, and this gray one, it's like stalemate, so well, say in the middle. If none of the above are achieved, this one is going to be used, and depending on which one you decided to fulfill, different paragraph is going to be read next. So as you can see, we have a lot of those paragraphs, and this is a booklet of the assault on the castle. Apart of that, on this board we can have just a track of initiative track and the balance. So the balance also uses this politics of glory and supremacy, and it can be positive or negative, and those results, those numbers are going to be added to your own politics. So if you have, for example, on your track 2, and on this balance, so this track that is used by all players, there's also +2, in the end you have 4 glory, for example. In here we have a track of rounds, so the game is going to last 9 rounds. Those 9 rounds are split into 3 acts, so 3 rounds per act, and at the end of each of the 3 of the 3rd, 6th and 9th round, you need to put one of those tokens. So this blue, this red, and or this gray, those are also connected with those politics. So if the end of the first act was glory, you're going to put blue token. If it was supremacy, you're going to put red, and so on. And it's important for your private quests. I'm going to tell you in a second. And so what else? We have a lot of tokens. As you can see on the right hand side, there's a lot of tokens used to put them on your card. We also have those resources, it's 6 of them. And in the middle we have those quests. So I already told you about locations, and on those locations we are going to have this deck of cards with dots. You're going to put them in order. So on the bottom is going to be 3, in the middle 2 dots, and on the top 1 dot. So it's like a level of those missions. And if you can go to the specific location because you have enough movement points, you can fulfill this quest, but also you need to have enough strength, but about that in a second. We have some flavor texts, and again 3 outcomes depending on your strategy and your goals. You're going to choose one and gain or lose something. So those are like very simple quests that you can fulfill, but the difficulty is first to get to the specific spot, because some are closer and some are further, and you need to have enough power to fulfill those quests. And now I already mentioned the power, so I am going to show you the cards of your mercenaries that you can hire. So those cards in the middle over here. So in here we have different mercenaries. Those mercenaries comes with different speciality, let's say. Those specialities are marked with those icons. In here is a cost that you need to spend or pay to hire them. In here we have some skills that they are going to grant you if you are using them, and in here are their stats. So fire is their power, and wheel is additional movement points that you are going to add to your card when you are going to try to move to different spots. And over here, those symbols represents that what speciality this mercenary has and what kind of items that mercenary can use. So, for example, Simona can use only well, shields and magical items, and I am going to show you right now the cards of the items. So those cards of the items also comes with those symbols. So this is the shield symbol, it's armor. This is the cost that you need to pay in specific tends to purchase it, and additional another bonuses to your two basic statistics. Those numbers are just ID, so it doesn't really matter, and this is like a joker, it's basically everything. So your mercenary, when you're going to use this specific mercenary during your quest, it's going to be something like this. So card of the mercenary, and on the bottom the item that mercenary is using. So this mercenary at this moment can use for firepower, let's say, when you're going to count the number of necessary power to fulfill the quests. And now let's go to those secret objectives. So each player is going to get this set of cards, those two cards, and those two cards represents your goals. So for example, on those two cards we have goals like this. First act must end with this positive outcome, with this glory politics. Second act must end with supremacy politics, and the final act needs to end with this stalemate politics. And at the end, each of those objectives is going to give you 4 victory points. And the second card shows you how should your band, your band of mercenaries should look like. So you should have 4 mercenaries of this specific class. So in this example, I have an, let's say, tank, but I need mage and let's say thief. And I am going to get 5 points for that, and this shows us what kind of items I should have. So 4 items that are I don't know what is this blue one, swords, and this blue one, it's like maybe sacred or something like that, holy. Yeah, I think this blue grail, it shows sacred items. So this is how your end of the game should look like, and this is how much victory points you can accumulate fulfilling it. So your strategy is not shown and it's not revealed till the end of the game. Your opponents are not going to know what objectives you have to fulfill, that they are trying to fulfill. And I think those are the all necessary components that I showed you. And now maybe I will tell you quickly how the one round of the game looks like. So at the beginning of the game, maybe I will use this help to show you. Act is split into those 3 parts: story, game turn, and end of act. So at the beginning there is a planning phase where you are going to put your workers on a board, and you are going to try and accumulate specific resources, hire mercenaries, purchase items to equip them. You can trade your resources for other resources. You can try to spend your resources to increase or decrease this balance, well, depending on your strategy, and so on. So in here, with this like regular worker placement, where you are also trying to manage your resources on your card. The second part is, so I already told you first and second. The third part is camp actions, so you're performing them, and end phase. So this is it. After that, you're going to perform phase 2. So this is a quest phase. In player order, you are going to fulfill your quest, one of the chosen. So you need to make a sum of all of those wheels icons that you have among your cards, and depending on how many bonuses are uncovered on your card, the sum allows you to travel to a specific location. So this is the closest one, because it's with number 0, so basically you don't have to have any wheels to move here. 1, 2, 3, and 4, this is the distance. After that, you need to calculate how many flames you have. So you are going to make a sum of those numbers, and depending on the outcome, again, you can perform one of those quests. So this is a combination of the distance and how much firepower you have. You're taking this specific quest, you're choosing which of them you're trying to fulfill. So this glorious, let's say, this negative or this neutral one, you're gaining this card, you're gaining some points and so on, and you can trade this card on specific location for additional resources, for example. And after that, after questing, you need to check whether the this is the third round of the specific act or not. If you accumulated enough points of this glory or supremacy, you can perform this action that is in 8th tent with this book icon, and that allows you to complete this one of those options in the booklet. So for example, if it's the first act and this is our first this is first act. So if it's the first act, those are your options. If you have 3 glory, for example, you can decide to read this part. You're going to get 1 victory point, you're going to get 1 mercenary from top of the deck. You don't have to pay its cost, and then you're going to the second second part. So in here, then you're going to 5th if you were going to with this glory path. Where is the 5th one? The beast, and after that we would go to 14. Oh, so this is it, because we have the second booklet with the epilogues. So in the epilogues we also have from 14 to 40, so there's a lot of epilogues, and each of them is going to be different with different scoring rules. So not only during the game you're going to fulfill those quests, but also different ending is going to happen depending on where you're what was the path that you chosen. At the end of the game, you are going to uncover your goals, and the sum of the victory points tells who is the winner of the game. So this is it. The entry level for this game, from my perspective, is quite low. I mean, it can be very nice, a gateway game. Maybe it's not so easy like very easy games, but I believe that if we would start our journey with board games, that we would be very impressed with this title, because in here we have a lot of interesting components and mechanics. We also have some very visually appealing elements, like this 3D board with our tents, and every single piece is made with very much detail. I don't know if you can see it, it's with this glossy effect, and we have a lot of those glossy effects on our cards, on our wagons, on our items, and even on the boards. So everything looks very stunning, and the game is approachable, so I think it can be very good choice if you are looking for a game that is approachable and yet very fun, and also quite fast, because it only lasts 9 rounds. So it can be executed quite fast. So this is it. This is Grifoni Blades for Hire. If you like this title, just check out the description below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and see you in the next one.